What up, guys? This is my UFC 303 recap show from my lovely studio in the 1991 Ford F-150 XLT Lariat. I'm going to be going through the entire card, starting with the early ones, ending with the main event. And I went 5-7 on this card, and in hindsight, made some very stupid predictions. But anyways, let's not bury the lead. Let's get into it. First fight of the night, Ricky Simón loses to Vinicius Oliveira. I picked Ricky Simón. I thought he'd be able to use his wrestling, and I thought he would have a good game plan, but instead he tried to wing overhands without any setup, no body attacks, very little takedowns. Just looked hesitant, looked gun-shy. Oliveira was really making him hesitant. Oliveira was fast and big. He was countering in combination whenever Ricky Simón would miss, and that was causing Ricky Simón to just shell up and not really want to expose himself. So Vinicius Oliveira actually hurt his foot on a check, and Simón still he couldn't find that next gear he needed to get to. Who knows what was going on, but yeah, it just looked like Simón he needs to take a break or just figure something out, add some new tools. But yeah, Vinicius Oliveira, too big, too rangy, good takedown defense. Yeah, just kind of whooped Simón. So that's one wrong for me. Moving up the card, we had Carlos Hernandez versus Ray Saruya. Great grappling fight, honestly, really fun match. Flyweights are sick as hell, dude. Let's get this open. Flyweights are sick as hell. That was just so much fun scrambling. It's too much to even put into words. But I think this should have possibly got fight of the night if there was more back and forth from Hernandez. But unfortunately, Hernandez just couldn't get any offense going, and he never really threatened Ray Saruya in the fight. Third round, he was trying to come back, but that's just not his style. He's not a third round finisher, comeback kind of guy. And Saruya did good, even though he was gassed. Like he's a fucking high-level grappler. I was pretty psyched on that. But yeah, I thought Carlos Hernandez would be able to defend himself like he did, but I underestimated how much Ray Saruya could control him. So Saruya just had more control. He had more submission attempts. Not like he didn't really land any strikes, but he just kind of dictated the fight. And Carlos Hernandez was he was like constantly playing catch up and constantly defending. So I can see why they gave it to him. But yeah, so that's Ray Saruya by decision, and I went 0-2 to start. Not a great way to start. Fight number 3, Andrei Arlovski versus Martin Buday. I picked Martin Buday by terrible heavyweight decision, and that is exactly what we got. I'm pretty vindicated because I knew that fight would suck. I think we all did. Arlovski's been pretty boring. Buday has never been a big puncher or just dynamic. So we got a sloppy Haas fight in the fucking clinch with punches and stuff. Just a terrible fight. But I got that one right, so now I'm 1-2. Next fight, again, nothing to say. Michelle Waterson-Gomez versus Jillian Robertson. Boring-ass fight. Could have gone either way, I guess. I don't care. I picked Waterson, and she won. And she retired. And they acted like she was like a long-term champion. The UFC they make the most baffling choices, and I just don't understand it. But yeah, Waterson wins decision. Anyways, I'm 2-2 now, starting to look good, but these are gimmies. Peyton Talbot knocks out Urani Jamori, whatever his name is, in the first round in like 19 seconds. Literally nothing to say about this. Peyton Talbot shoots a jab. Jamori parries the jab, looks for a right low kick while Peyton is right in front of him, and Peyton just nails him with a straight right on the chin. Down he goes. Ground and pound for the finish. Yeah, you're going to have to step Peyton Talbot's competition up because he's showing that he's obviously very good. And yeah, if you keep giving him dudes like this, he's going to keep shining. So we're going to have to see him against some tough style matchups, see what he could do. I have a feeling he's going to be really good. As long as he keeps that confidence, because his style depends on being confident. So hopefully he can keep winning. And yeah, that was nice. One punch KO. Got that one right. So I'm 3-2. And now we're back on the losing side. Charles Jourdain versus Jean Silva. I thought Jourdain was going to be able to dictate this fight and keep Jean Silva playing cash up, hitting him with body kicks, and just using range and speed. But man, Jean Silva, he looked way too good defensively for Charles Jourdain. He had a speed. He was just as fast as Jourdain. He was giving him problems, dodging almost all of his attacks, blocking, parrying. And Jourdain started getting pressed to the fence, and that's when it started getting rough for him because he started getting panicked, lunging off the fence. That was the first knockdown. He lunges with a straight left, completely out in front of his stance, and Jean Silva takes a back step, counter left hook right on the chin. Down goes Jourdain. Very similar to how Pereira knocked out Jiri. And then the second round, Jourdain starts wrestling some more. And just honestly, Jean Silva will probably struggle against wrestlers, but he looked pretty good up against the cage. He's using the cage well to get up, and then once he gets up, Jourdain has him in like a head outside single leg. So Jean Silva posts on his head, and you can hear his coach yell uppercut, and he gets his leg out immediately as soon as his foot hits the ground, and Charles Jourdain is looking the other way. Boom, right uppercut, catches him clean on the chin, crumples him. Beautiful sneaky punch out of the clinch. I love those little hidden shots. And he just grabbed him by the back of his head, pulled his leg out, uppercut. That's the fight. I think he should have got a performance of the night bonus instead of Macy Chiasson. That's neither here nor there, just my opinion. But yeah, I got that one wrong. So at this point, I'm 3-3. Jean Silva, though, he's a fucking bro. I like him. Number 7, we had Andre Fili versus Cub Swanson. And this got fight of the night. I picked Andre Fili by decision. He wins by decision. I thought he was going to be too tall and he was going to give Swanson trouble closing the distance. That's kind of what it looked like. But then Swanson started putting him against the cage and actually started doing pretty damn good. But I guess the judges just decided that Fili's shots were more impactful because Swanson would land punches, but every time he'd land, Fili would land back. And he would land, boom, fast, and then he would stand there and just get caught. And I think he wasn't expecting Fili to take his shots and just sit there and counter back, but he was, And yeah, close fight. You can give it to Swanson. The third round I thought was his best round, but even then, Fili still, he was landing. Yeah, I definitely want to go watch that one back. That was probably my favorite fight on the prelims. But yeah, I got that one right. Picked Andre Fili, and he got it done. Next fight, prelim headliners, Joe Pyfer versus Marc-Andre Barriault. I called this one exactly. I said Joe Pyfer is going to get a brutal first-round knockout, and that's exactly what he did. Marc-Andre Barriault historically gets finished in the first round by really dangerous, explosive people. He backed himself to the cage, was trying to do some sort of Hermanson game, but that's not Barriault's game. Barriault is a pressure fighter. All his best wins come when he's on the front foot. He's never been a back foot boxing savant. He's just not who he is. And Joe Pyfer backed him against the cage, overhand right, as he's circling away too. That's how much power he's got. As he's going the opposite direction, he still gets rocked by that punch because that's just Pyfer's got fucking power, man. Overhand right, wobbles him, boom, right hand to the side of the head, uppercut, out fucking cold. Joe Pyfer back in the win column. Definitely deserved the performance of the night. I feel like he's exciting, man. I love Joe Pyfer when he's fighting someone that he can knock out. He looked better at his cage craft, though. He wasn't just walking after him. He was cutting the cage. I thought he looked really good, man. Barriault, obviously not the best, but yeah, we'll see what happens with Pyfer. All right, main card. Oh, and I got that one right. So right now I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, and I was feeling good. That changes very quickly. Okay, so Ian Garry versus Michael Venom Page. I picked Michael Venom Page to win by decision. I feel very vindicated, though, because I said this fight was going to suck, and it did. It was a terrible fight. Somehow worse than I thought. Yeah, just Michael Venom Page trying to lunge in, land wild overhands. Ian Garry not doing anything on the feet, shooting takedowns, getting position, holding position, not doing anything. First round, that's how he wins. He gets the back and just kind of holds it. Doesn't really ever get close. Kind of got close at one point, but Venom Page has really strong hands, it seems like. His grip strength is crazy because he was just peeling Gary's hands off, like, very, very well. So, good for Michael Venom Page. Second round, Page probably wins it because it's mostly on the feet, and Gary doesn't do enough damage or get enough control time to win it. Terrible fight, though. Terrible round, I mean. Third round, Gary is losing on the feet, gets a kind of takedown, gets him against the cage, jumps on his back, and holds that for about 2.5 minutes. That's the fight. Maybe 15 strikes landed between both guys. Fucking terrible. That's it. I'm glad it sucked because I said it would, and I just never want to watch that fight ever again. Got that one wrong, though. I picked MVP. I still feel like I got it right because Gary didn't do shit. Anyways, Mayra Bueno Silva versus Macy Chiasson. Yeah, this was actually a pretty good fight. I don't think it was a fight of the night or performance of the night or anything like that because Chiasson didn't really do much. She had her moments, like in the first round, she was doing a good job of landing, and Mayra Bueno Silva would come back in big combinations, land on her. And Chiasson was also in there throwing. Mayra would grab the collar tie and go into the clinch, land nice body shots. You could see the difference in their power. But second round, Chiasson gets on top and then almost instantly just lands a fucking huge elbow that splits Mayra open. And that cut was nasty. Or fucking, it was the size of her eyebrow, legitimately from here to like there. I see why they stopped it. You know, it's probably not gonna cause permanent damage, but she's a girl and they don't want to. You know, it's just, I get it. That's kind of like actually not even gonna say it's just because she's a girl, because they stopped the Nate Diaz one. And it was very similar to that, although maybe a little worse. But yeah, Macy Chiasson got a performance bonus for one elbow. So hey, $50K for one elbow. You don't even have to actually like knock her out. And I think Mayra actually ended up getting up too, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, got that one wrong, and so that's 2 wrong on the main card, and it gets worse. Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. I am so sorry for picking Anthony Smith. Every time I think of Anthony Smith, I seem to think about his performance in the first round against Glover Teixeira. And I feel like that's who he is. That's just not who he is anymore. I don't think he's really training that hard, if I'm going to keep it 100. He looks like he stays like in shape, but he looks like he's not. He's just getting older. He's getting a little bit more miles on him. Maybe he can't put in the work, but I mean, it's just like, I get Dolidze must be intimidating because Smith did not want to use his jab. He didn't want to step in. He must have felt like Dolidze was too fast and that the takedown was always going to be there. But yeah, Dolidze just outfought him everywhere. Out fucking wrestled him, outstruck him, just out-toughed him. Yeah, just, you know, it shows that lighter weight classes coming up, they seem to have pretty good success. Again, nothing to write home about. I don't even know what to say about this fight. Anthony Smith winging right hands, Dolidze just throwing kicks, winging counters, just sloppy fight. But yeah, it's another one wrong. Co-main event, I had picked Ortega versus Diego Lopez, but last minute Dan Ige steps up, and yeah, it was a pretty even fight. Both guys looked hesitant. And that's just because they took this on short notice with no like time to prepare. Diego Lopez has been cutting weight, gaining weight, just all over the place, and he still kept it together and managed to get through a dude that is damn near unfinishable. Dan Ige, I don't think he's ever been finished. I don't know if he's ever been knocked down, low key. So the fact that Lopez is able to take someone like that and just have a stand-up, no game plan fight towards him and still come out on top, I like that. But third round though, Ige, man, he was pushing it and he was trying to get Lopez out of there, but credit to Lopez, he stayed safe and just got through it. And I think at this point, that's all you can expect when you've got that many curveballs and an opponent change like that, is just get through it. And he did. Not much to say. It was a pretty good fight, but nothing to write home about. Main event, Jiri versus Pereira 2. I picked Jiri, and holy shit, within 30 seconds, I realized how stupid that was. I could tell that Pereira looked like he ain't been missing a beat. Like, he looked fresh. I've been watching those sparring footage, and all I could see in my mind was his sparring footage, and I was like, I don't see how Jiri wins this. Please use your wrestling. Nope, not a single takedown. Stand on the feet. Eat some shots. He was doing good, you know, like trying to mix it up, be unpredictable. And then last second of the fucking first round, he lunges with a jab. Just lunges with no real setup, like walking into Pereira's range. And Pereira just takes that slight angle and throws that left hook, catches him on the chin. The fight's basically over. That would have been the end of the fight, but it was right at the last seconds. He thought the ref waved it off because the round ended. And he got hit like right on the bell, so I don't think he even heard it. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. He's done. And then, wouldn't you know it, 5 seconds into the second round, Pereira switch kick to the head. Down goes Jiri. Ground and pound to the finish. He basically, he must have just read, like, this guy can't defend things on his right side because his hand is by his chest. And left head kick right on the side of the head. Down goes Jiri, ground and pound, he's out. He gets up, he's wobbling all around. It was sad. I don't like to watch Jiri like that, but hopefully he can take some time to actually work on MMA instead of, you know, fucking praying to spirits and shit like that. So, yeah, Alex Pereira, let him go to heavyweight. He's that guy. He has somehow had a whole MMA career and not fought one single good wrestler. It's honestly inspiring, and it makes me think that if you're an MMA fighter, get a good agent, because this is crazy. This dude is a 2-division champion, with defending like maybe 6 takedowns in his whole career against 0 wrestlers. Shout out Alex Pereira. Chama. Yeah. But that's all the fights, guys. I'm going to get out of here because I'm starting to sweat sitting in this hot-ass truck. Next up, we got, I believe, Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. I just picked a great time to start making these videos again, but at least that one, the worst record I can go is 0-8, so we're going to do that. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Pretty boring fights, honestly. This card was just cursed to suck, but shout out Alex Pereira, he brought it back. But yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.